Okay, let's be honest. Does it feel like this whole AI thing just exploded out of nowhere? Like, one minute it was science fiction, and the next it was writing your emails? Well, you're not wrong. But what if I told you the secret origin story of this revolution has less to do with some secret lab and a whole lot more to do with that little device in your pocket? We're about to unpack the real story, and it's not what you think.
It really does feel like that, doesn't it? It's like a switch just flipped. Suddenly AI is everywhere. It's creating unbelievable art. It's passing medical exams. It's in all the apps we use every single day. It felt so instantaneous, so sudden.
And here's why. For decades, AI was kind of stuck. It was interesting stuff, for sure, but it was brittle. It would break easily if you gave it a problem it hadn't seen before. But then, right around 2020, something changed. It hit this critical tipping point. It became flexible, dependable, and that's when it just went mainstream, big time.
So, what happened? What was the big bang moment that took AI from a niche little science project to, well, the biggest technological shift on the planet? The answer, and I'm not kidding, is probably sitting in your hand or your pocket right now.
We have this image in our heads, right, of AI being born in these giant humming data centers owned by tech giants. But that's the myth. The reality is, the nursery for today's AI wasn't some huge server farm. It was the incredibly fierce, competitive smartphone industry.
Just think about how massive the smartphone boom was. It wasn't just a product. It was a technological wildfire that spread across the globe. It put a supercomputer into billions with a beat, billions of hands, and that created this enormous, hungry market, just waiting for the next big thing. But the real key is what was happening inside those phones. The competition between companies wasn't just about making screens bigger. It was an absolute war over sensors. Who could build the best camera, the clearest microphone, the most accurate GPS? And all these amazing sensors were generating tidal waves of data. Okay, so this created a huge engineering puzzle. How in the world do you process all that data? Like, instantly, to do things like unlock your phone with your face, or smooth out a shaky video on a device that has a tiny battery and absolutely no cooling fan. A normal computer chip would just melt through the battery in minutes. It was an impossible problem. Turns out there was only one solution. They had to invent brand new, hyper-efficient, dedicated AI chips. Our collective demand for better selfies, for a battery that lasts all day, that demand is what forced the industry to innovate. AI became the key enabler that made the modern smartphone possible. So you could say we all accidentally crowdfunded the AI revolution with every phone we ever bought. But here's the thing. All of that, the billions of phones, those incredibly powerful chips, proving that AI could be dependable, that was all just phase one. That was just the warm-up act for what's coming next. And welcome to phase two, AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. Now forget the killer robots from the movies. The real, practical definition is actually pretty simple. It's when our devices start talking to each other to get things done for us, without us having to constantly tell them what to do. So what does that actually look like in your life? Well, imagine this. Your calendar sees you have a meeting across town. It automatically tells your car's navigation system where you need to go. On the way, your car checks live traffic and sees a big jam. And here's the magic part. The car itself messages the smart meeting room to let everyone know you'll be 5 minutes late. All of this happens in the background, without you lifting a finger. And get this, this is not some distant sci-fi future. The consensus among tech evangelists is that by 2030, just a few years from now, the changes from this AI-powered world are going to be impossible to ignore.
So that brings us to maybe the most important question in all of this. If machines are busy coordinating and finishing all these tasks for us, what does that leave for us to do? What skills are actually going to matter for the next generation? The answer, it seems, is a completely new foundational skill, AI literacy. And this isn't about becoming a tech genius. It's about having a basic understanding of how to navigate this new world. Just like computer literacy became absolutely essential a generation ago.
Let me give you a perfect analogy. You don't need to be a mechanic who can rebuild an engine just to drive a car, right? But you absolutely do need to know the rules of the road to drive safely. AI literacy is exactly the same. It's not about building the engine, it's about understanding the rules. What AI can do, what it can't do, so you can use it safely and effectively. So let's be super clear. The goal here is not to turn every kid into a programmer or a math whiz.
It's about giving them the tools to ask smart questions, to understand the technology's limits, and to really visualize how it's going to reshape, well, pretty much every career out there. And this is where it gets pretty serious. Our old models of education, the ones built around memorizing facts and just repeating tasks, they're becoming, to put it bluntly, not very usable for these new digital natives. We're running a real risk of teaching an entire generation skills for a world that's already fading away.
This means the responsibility really lands on our education system. The thinking is that teaching about general AI isn't just another elective class, it's an obligation. It's becoming a fundamental life skill for anyone who wants to succeed in the world of 2030 and beyond.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In a world where machines are increasingly becoming the workers, handling the tasks and the calculations, the skills that become uniquely human are vision and judgment. So the question is, are we teaching our kids how to memorize facts for the world of yesterday? Or are we teaching them the vision and critical thinking they're going to need for the world of tomorrow?